Good evening, Bobcat families. Wow, it feels great to say that. I'm only one of the people on this call today joining us that are excited to welcome you to the Frostburg family. Many of you have tuned in for some of our previous sessions held in the previous semester, but for those joining for our first time, welcome. My name is Nia Avery, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Frostburg State University. And today you're joining us to get pumped, and I mean Bobcat pumped, about your students' upcoming fall semester. Today, you will hear from our university president, Dr. Ronald Nowaczyk, the provost, Dr. Michael Mathias, and Dr. Artie Travis, who is the VP of Student Affairs. They are here to provide some information with you for your students' upcoming fall semester, and they are here to answer any questions that you have. So make sure that you utilize that Q&A chat feature above. You can submit your questions throughout the whole entirety of the event. And then at the very end, we will have a moderated session by Natalie Wagner, the Director of Admissions, who will be moderating the Q&A session. So we are all excited to welcome you. We hope that you enjoyed today's event, and feel free to ask us questions during the event, after the event, etc. I'm going to turn it over to the University President, Dr. Ronald Nowaczyk.
Thanks, Nia, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll say a few words, fill you in on where we are for the summer and preparing for the fall. But I enjoy the most part of this event is being able to answer questions and to have an exchange with you about questions you may have and the things we'll be doing this semester. First of all, let me just bring you up to date. By the way, I'm joined here on one side here. My left side is Dr. Mathias, who's on your right, and on your left and my right is Dr. Artie Travis, our VP for Student Affairs. And as you know, we've been working very hard this summer to have what we're calling a normal fall semester, and we're on track to do that. We've been following the COVID situation very carefully, monitoring it on campus, and we believe we're going to be ready to go with students here in a normal environment for this fall and operating in a safe fashion on campus. So we're looking forward to having you join us. We're looking forward to getting students in. We know if you have not yet made your decision if to join us or not, please reach out to admissions to get more information and answer any questions you may have about it. I will share a couple things that are for your information that you should be aware of. One of the things as far as campus, we're moving along with doing renovations in our library, creating some space for student collaborative study spaces. The new Education Health Sciences building is coming along quite well. Right on track. We're on time and on schedule with the building going forward. A lot of changes going on. We've had a lot of summer camps this summer with some athletic summer camps going on here. And also been welcoming a lot of students and their families who wanted to tour the campus, meet with some of our students, get a chance to learn more about us. And I think had a good summer so far. If it's your summers like ours, they're going by very fast. We're less than, actually just about 5 weeks away from the beginning of the summer. The fall semester. So finishing up our second summer session, we have another summer session coming up starting in a week or so, and then getting ready then to welcome everybody for the fall semester. And you'll hear more about it from the Provost, Mike Mathias, as well as from Artie Travis, our Vice President for Student Affairs. I want to share with you, though, a couple things that we're planning to do for the fall to remind folks that in order to be a safe campus, we are following the University System of Maryland mandate that requires that everybody be compliant to be on campus this fall. Compliance means that you've completed the vaccination process, which we still strongly recommend. We are following the science on it on a regular basis. And clearly everything we're seeing, I mean, I'm sure everybody's following the Delta variant. We're watching it here as well, watching the research and information we can glean from the scientific community and the medical community. We're relying a lot on working with our local health department as well as the state health department, CDC. And fortunately, we have the University of Maryland Medical School helping us in making decisions as we move forward. So we're asking that everybody, as many people as possible, please get vaccinated. I know all three of us have been vaccinated and got vaccinated early on when they became available. It's the safest thing we can do to have a safe campus. We understand that for some individuals, there may be a religious reason or a medical reason for not getting the vaccine. If that's the case, we're asking you to submit an exemption form. For those individuals that are exempt, that have an approved exemption, and for students, it's going through our Brady Health Center, where a nurse practitioner, the director of the Health Center is reviewing every exemption that comes through and contacting individuals if we have any questions before approving the exemption. If you do have an exemption, we'll be requiring you to wear masks when you're indoors, and we will be also asking you or requiring you to take antigen testing. We'll be following a protocol which will require weekly testing, either once or twice a week, to make sure that you're healthy as we move forward. If you want to wear a mask, and we're telling this to other folks, some people have said, hey, I'm vaccinated and can I still wear a mask? Certainly can do that. There will be no stigma associated with it. It's optional to where if you want to wear a mask. We're certainly expecting people that there will be individuals who feel they want to wear a mask. That's fine. The other thing I guess I would share with you is, again, I'm excited about the fall. We need to get back to normal, and both of these gentlemen here have done a lot to make that happen. From the academic side, you'll be hearing about the things we've been doing, recognizing that the transition from high school to college can oftentimes be a difficult one anyway, but under the circumstances of the last year and a half, even more difficult. And if you're a returning student, knowing that we've gone through hybrid learning, even though we were on campus and came as close as we could to a normal environment, it still wasn't what a lot of people would hope for. Students were hoping for, especially the opportunity for extracurricular opportunities, chances to work with other students in terms of student organizations and so forth. That it made it very difficult. So we're going to try to do our best this year to make that work for everybody in terms of having a safe campus and one that's welcoming and also gives the students the opportunities to work. I will share with you that I've been very pleased and very proud of the fact that our faculty and staff and students last year did a heck of a job under difficult circumstances to keep this campus open for all except for 1 week. And the rest of the time we were in session here, taking the necessary safety precautions to the point that I think we had a very, very successful year under some very demanding circumstances. But that's part of the Bobcat family. So I'll stop there, turn it over to Mike, and let him share with you a little bit of things that may be going on with the academics. And again, just remind you, share questions with us through the Q&A section so we can have some dialogue in a few minutes. Thanks again.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Again, I'm Mike Mathias. I'm the Provost, Chief Academic Officer at the university, and the faculty and the staff in the Division of Academic Affairs is getting really excited about welcoming your students back to campus for in-person learning this fall. As Dr. Nowaczyk said, right, so we're going to be operating basically along a pre-pandemic model. We're going to be following our normal academic calendar, which is posted up on our website. We'll follow our normal academic policies and standards. Our classrooms will be operating at their normal capacities and in their normal configurations. And again, really looking forward to having students back in the classroom, again, working with them outside of the classroom as well in an in-person environment. As Dr. Nowaczyk said, we appreciate, the extraordinary circumstances that high school students in their senior year faced last year, and returning students as well. So the university has been working hard on developing a strong support network for your students this coming fall. Tell you a little bit about what we've got lined up. We've got a new university academic advising model that we're implementing. If you check out the front page of our website, there's a very nice story that describes the new advising model that we're implementing. All new incoming students will have a university advisor and then a faculty mentor in addition to that university advisor, so a dual advising model. And again, really, Frostburg's a leader in transforming academic advising. We were one of 12 institutions from across the nation selected by some prestigious organizations to develop and implement this program. So again, check out our webpage right there on the front page. Meet our new university advisors and our new director of academic advising. In addition to a very strong advising network, our academic success network is going to be offering extra tutoring, additional access to learning counseling, additional peer mentoring by fellow students. We've hired additional staff in our developmental math program to make sure that our students are succeeding in their math pathway. So some really terrific support structure for your students to help them out this fall. Again, we appreciate, right, in a typical summer, there's the so-called summer slide, right, a little bit of a learning gap that might occur. And again, we appreciate that that might be a little bit bigger than usual, given what we're coming out of this past year. And I want you to know that we're being proactive and responsive to that. With respect to our faculty, we're communicating that it's important for them maybe to take the pace a little bit slower in the first week or two of the class to get a feel for how students are prepared, both continuing students and incoming students. And we're also stressing the importance of doing assessments very early, the first or second week of class, to get feedback and to be able to gauge how students are doing and what students might need early interventions. We have a really robust academic monitoring system here at Frostburg. Early in the semester, we do a first-year progress survey. Instructors for all of our first-year students complete a survey indicating if they're seeing any problems transitioning into the university, and then our Academic Success Network reaches out to them and develops interventions to help them along. We have a midterm warning system. Any students who are not doing as well as we'd like them to be doing at the midterm, again, their advisors, their faculty are notified and interventions are developed. And we have what we call the beacon alert system, which faculty and advisors can use at any time to let everybody know, advisors, other faculty members working with students, that someone's seeing some problems. Perhaps somebody's been absent for a couple of days. And again, we can check in on that student and again, make sure everything's okay there. And if there are issues, we can develop a plan to make sure that we're moving forward successfully. One other thing I might add on this area too, we have all of our first year students are enrolled in a 1-credit orientation course, Introduction to Higher Education. And the basic function of this course is to help students make that transition academically from high school to college. It's important to understand that the first year of college isn't really 13th grade. The way we deliver education and the students' responsibilities are different at a university than they might have been in high school. So this course helps to facilitate that transition. And it also helps to facilitate socialization. Again, it introduces students to all of those resources that I was talking about just a moment ago, to let them know all the things that they have to help them succeed academically here at the university, and also to help them know about all of the opportunities, co-curricular and extracurricular, that Dr. Travis is going to tell you about in just a few minutes. And it also allows the students to bond with one another, first-year students. So again, it helps develop friendships and study groups and things of that sort. So again, right, we're aiming for a normal academic experience this fall, appreciating that your students have come out of a very abnormal senior year in high school, or again, if they're returning students, again, things were a bit different for them last year. So we're going to make sure that they get off to a great start here and have a terrific first year or continuing experience at Frostburg State University. So I'll turn it over then to Dr. Travis, and he can talk to you a little bit about what's up in student affairs.
Welcome to Bobcat Country. Welcome to Bobcat Pride. I am so excited, as the president and also as our provost has indicated, that you're coming back. For the new students, your first time on the campus, Bobcat Pride is something that you're going to feel as soon as you get here. President said to us, all student affairs and across the campus, we've got students that are coming to campus for the first time that haven't been in school in 15, 16 months. Do some things that are going to make sure that they, one, stay connected, and two, that we reach out to them. The provost and I have been working on some programs. I've unofficially called our first 5 or 6 weeks, because a lot of you are your first timers coming, of weeks of welcome. We're going to have Bobcat weeks of welcome. We're going to start off as you will get to campus. we have a good connection with Frostburg, the city. Frostburg, the city is aching to get you back here on the campus. As I walk about the walk around the town, people ask me, when are the students coming back? They're coming back soon. We have a block party that was suspended because of COVID, but that's coming back. We have a plan for us to have a convocation because the new students are special, but we're inviting the new students and also the returning students to participate in this convocation to really get things started for you. Over the summer, the provost and the president and I participated in some of the family in Bobcat welcome sessions, and the parents were asking for us to have a family weekend. We're going to have a family weekend kind of midway in first weekend of October, because what we want to do is to make sure that you stay connected with the children that you're standing up here, and to come on up and see what's happening with them. Get a chance to see some of the professors on the campus. We've got real nice plans for you, and we're getting excited also about homecoming. So we're going to have a whole month, 2 months of weeks of welcome to Bobcat country, because we want to show you Bobcat pride. We want to also make sure that if you're a parent, your parents, and also for the students that are coming up here, I always say we can't help if we don't know. Ask a question. We've got folks, the provost talked about the academic advising, 2 advisors to make sure that you start navigating through that 4-year process. 4 years, so the parents don't have to pay any extra. 4 years to graduate. Use our Career Services Center. As soon as you get to campus, learn what's happening over the Career Services so you can be prepared for internships and some of the other things that are happening. We've got a great health center. As the president's talked about, has been leading our effort to try to mitigate, navigate through our COVID. We've got our CAPS program, and our CAPS program, our counseling center. We've got 5 counselors over there. We've got we're going to be doing telesessions in addition to face-to-face. This is going to be a very unique time. It may be a traumatic time for the first-year students that are coming up here. We're doing everything we can across the campus in student affairs and academic affairs just to make sure that if you ask a question, we're going to be able to answer the question and direct you to that resource in order to be able to be fully engaged in academic and out of the classroom activities. When you first get here, we're going to have a student organization fair. We've got over 80 student organizations on the campus. If you create a student organization that, with 5 or 6 friends, we'll help you do that. We want to make sure that when you're not in the classroom, that you have opportunities to stay connected outside of the classroom in order for us to be able to help support you in not only being academic scholars, but also being good citizens. We have the Lane University Center. They're planning a lot of activities to get back to normal so we can make sure that you have some things to do when you're not studying and things to be able to do to keep you engaged with a lot of different activities in this area. Welcome again and welcome back to Frostburg State University. Bobcat pride up here in Bobcat country.
Thanks both Artie and Mike. Natalie, before we take questions, I do want to share one thing too that I thought I want to share is we did receive money under the American Recovery Plan, and that included some dollars, some funds to help with federal funds to help students as we move through this academic year. After looking through the information we received and following federal guidelines, we've adopted a plan to share some of those federal dollars based on what we call the expected family contribution and unmet need of families for our returning students. For our returning students who are registered, they should have already received some information about the award, the financial award they'll be getting. For students who are coming in, who are new students, we are prohibited by the federal guidelines of awarding anything until the students begin taking classes here and we've gone through what we call our census period. So even new students coming in this year will be eligible and will be awarded some financial aid based on the federal funding that we've been able to receive. And again, it's a formula that's been developed consistent with the federal guidelines, which are based on information that we have about expected family contribution to the student's education and also the amount of unmet need based on information we have. So if you have questions as we're moving forward on any of these questions about the financial aid, and this will be available for both semesters, please reach out to the admissions office or financial aid office to get some additional information. But I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that there will be federal funding that will be coming to our students again this academic year. With that, Natalie, I'll turn it over to you.
Can I add one more thing? And the President kind of tipped me off here. I remember another kind reminder. We've sent out information to all the students that are living in the residence halls and selected residence halls to live in. You have to be compliant when you come up here to Bobcat Country to be able to pick up your keys in Edgewood and in all the rest of the residence halls. Compliance, as the President said earlier, means that your shot records are downloaded, your medical exemption has been downloaded and approved, and your religious exception has also been downloaded and approved. You will not get a key to your room if you are not in compliance. Those three things to make sure that you're in compliance. If you have questions, you can always call the Office of Res Life and we'll try to answer the question for you. But again, you have to be in compliance for yourself to get a key. So we don't want your parents driving up from wherever and getting up here and you haven't done that. You're not getting the key because we have to follow the guidelines that have been set and established. And also, I just want to remind you, if you've not signed up for the residence halls and Edgewood, those spaces are slow or quickly filling up. So you may want to go ahead and if you haven't made that decision, again, remember, you're living on campus, you got 24-hour protection with campus police, you got the food service right down the way, you've got all the study carrels and study opportunities if you're on campus. And again, if you're off, you can come on campus and do some of those things, but those spaces are filling up pretty quick. We've got singles and we have doubles, and you need to make sure that you get the spaces before they're all gone.
And again, I want to reinforce what Dr. Travis was saying. You've heard, Dr. Travis talk about a block party. You've heard Dr. Mathias talk about normal classes and so forth moving forward. The way we can make that work is by having a safe campus. It's the only way it will work. And for that, we need to have as many people vaccinated as possible. And again, we are hoping to see as many folks vaccinated as possible on campus, recognizing that some may have a medical exemption or a religious exemption. And for those individuals, we will be doing testing. But you must, and again, I cannot strongly emphasize this enough, please go ahead and get the vaccine. All of the research we continue to see indicates that the problems that are coming with the Delta variant are really affecting the unvaccinated. So if we were able to be at 100% vaccinated on campus, I know we would have a safe environment here. We're hoping to be as close to that 100% as possible. Students have been downloading. We've been sending, I think, postcards out to families, and we've been glad to see students as well as faculty and staff uploading the information that we've requested to keep the campus safe this fall for everybody who's here. So safety, again, is our primary important thing here, because with a safe campus, we can operate in a normal fashion to allow the greatest experience possible here. So Natalie, I guess we got some questions?
Good evening, everyone. While you can't see me on camera, I can see all of your questions. So the first one actually lends really well to what Dr. Travis was just talking about, the health forms and the health information that's required. So is that for first year students, and where can they submit all of their health information?
They can go to the Brady website, and the information will be there for their medical records and et cetera, and also instructions for downloading the information. That information will be on the Brady website also.
It's a Brady Health Center.
I'm sorry. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a Brady website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Health Center.
We're used to all of the acronyms and things here that some people may not be ready for.
Okay.
And then the other question we have is there a general list available of things that are approved and not approved for the residence halls?
They can go to the Residence Life website, and that will let you know what you should be bringing and what you shouldn't be bringing to campus. Remember that there are micro fridges in all the residence halls, so you don't need to carry up a fridge or anything like that. So all that information is on the Department of Res Life website. I am going to discuss this with the Director of Admissions. We're going to try to have early in August a virtual meeting with just Res Life and the Wellness Center and the Counseling Center in case folks have questions regarding those 3 areas at this point in time. So we are going to try to do that early in August in case there are other questions that you have.
And it's refrigerator and a microwave, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, micro.
Small refrigerator and a microwave in each of the rooms.
And then if they haven't heard about their room assignment, when can they expect to hear about it?
They need to go ahead and call Residence Life. Res Life, if you've done everything you're supposed to do as far as signing up for your space, you can just give Res Life a call and they will let you know what your assignment is and when you'll get your assignment.
Okay, next question about books. When will the portal be available for them to compare prices with their students' schedule for books?
Yeah, so in the PAWS, the online student record system, when a student registers for courses, they can click on the course and it will indicate the title of any required or any recommended texts that go along with it. And you can directly connect into the bookstore, take a look at the university bookstore's website with those titles and whatnot. And you can check those out through the university's bookstore website. I'm not sure about the timeline for those, but faculty typically, right, are submitting the titles of required books at the time the courses are scheduled, and that usually happens about a year or so in advance. So those should be up there, I would expect at this point.
If you have a problem with that, send a note to a Provost at
Provost@frostburg.edu. PROVOST.
Great. Back to financial aid. And I may be able to answer this question, but if parents and students are still looking for financial aid opportunities and they've already got their award, they've already got their bill, how can they find out what else might be available?
I think, again, to your office, to admissions is the place to go. And they can, again, for first year students coming in, and we know that we can give you an approximate understanding of if there will be, if you're getting a financial award from the federal funding, how much it will be, recognizing the fact that we will not be able to issue a check to that student or apply it to the bill until sometime when the census, which I think is mid-September. And again, I've authorized the folks, if we know we're getting this amount of money and you want to apply it towards the bill, then we'll be glad to let you run a balance. And, you can sign over and say, yes, when I get the check, let it go towards the bill. So we don't have to issue refunds to you. We can work something with you. But again, reach out to admissions at Frostburg State University for that information.
And one note I want to make a point to say is we have a process. It's a special consideration process. We understand that COVID still has lingering impacts. And so if your employment situation has changed, your financial situation has changed since filing the FAFSA, you can contact our financial aid office and fill out a form to have your whole financial situation reviewed to see if you can become eligible for federal aid as well, or any other institutional dollars that might be available. So if you find yourself in that situation, just reach out and we can get you that information.
Yeah, I want to just share too, now that I think this reminds me, we're a small enough institution. We're a state institution, but we're small enough. We do have the ability to work with each individual person on a lot of the questions that they have, talking to an individual, getting the information you need, and having us review the information we need to do. I've asked the staff to do it. They've been really great at it. The provost mentioned we'll be back to normal class sizes. The normal class sizes are in the average of 20 at most and 25 in most classes.
That's right. So the average introductory first year class would be 20 to 25 students, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So you're not talking of classes of several hundred, where you have to worry about large lecture halls, faculty doing the teaching. in my opinion, you're getting a public education with a private school feel.
Next question about athletic events. Will there be any limitations to attending athletic events this fall?
At this point, no. As far as the athletic events, we plan to be operating in a normal fashion. We will ask people who are not vaccinated to wear masks in the stadium because of just any indoor facilities. But at this point, last year, the Mountain East Conference, our conference, adopted a rule with regard to attendance and limiting attendance, especially at indoor events. The presidents have all met, and we will be operating under a normal environment this fall.
And then another student athlete question. If that student athlete submitted all of their medical information to their sport or athletic trainer, do they still need to upload it to the Grady Health Center?
I think it would be smart to do that, even though I do know that they're sharing information up and back, but putting it in the Grady Health Center, I think, is really important.
Okay. Academics. When will syllabi be available for students to start reviewing?
Yeah, so many of our faculty will activate the course website on our learning management system. We use a system called Canvas, and that is a virtual platform that supports all of the instruction in the course. And many of the faculty in the week before classes start, so again, classes start on Monday, August 30th, that week before, many of them will activate that website, and they'll already have it loaded up with the syllabus and all sorts of course material and content, so students have a chance to preview it and check it out ahead of time. And in fact, you know, it's not uncommon for faculty to ask students, you know, to have read the syllabus and maybe some other, you know, course informational items before coming to class on the first day, and they might do, you know, some review of it there. So I would look the week before classes for your Canvas site to be activated and then have access there. But the other thing that you could do too, you know, if you go to the pause system and you check out the instructor's name, you know, if you shoot the instructor an email asking for a copy of the syllabus, I'm sure they'd be happy to pass it on to you that way as well.
All right, move-in question for student athlete. The coach sent an email. Move-in would be on 8/14 and 8/15. When should they expect to receive instructions and where to pick up keys? And then the pause account still says move-in is at the end of August.
All the athletes have made, all the coaches will be given that information for move-in for the particular teams. So they will be getting the keys at that point in time for football, for volleyball, for all the teams. So they need to make sure that they check with their head coach to get information regarding that move-in, because there will be different times for the move-in for the athletes.
Okay. And how many people can help them? Is there a limit on the number of people that can help them move in?
Last year, because of COVID restrictions, we said one parent or one person. We're not limiting that at this point in time to one or two people. It's going to be a normal move in. We're going to get back to normal. Things are going to be like they were 2 years ago and 3 years ago.
Yeah, the other thing I would ask is that if an individual is not vaccinated, they wear a mask and helping individuals move material in to their rooms.
Great. Do students have fall break, and when can they expect to have that?
We don't have a fall break built into our schedule. We do have the Thanksgiving break, 3 days that week, and then we come back to school for about a week and a half, and then have our final exams. The university's academic calendar is a common calendar employed by all the University System of Maryland schools. And those don't have a fall break in them like a spring break. There has been talk about perhaps going forward having something like an early October break, but right now we don't have that built into our calendar.
Okay. Academically related, student recently changed to an undecided major. What opportunities will they have to explore all the majors, and will it negatively impact graduation at all?
Yeah, not necessarily. So I get in touch with your advisor, again, your university or advisor or faculty advisor, just to make sure that they're aware of that change in your status and to get some advice there. Remember, right, that it takes 120 credits to get a bachelor's degree, and 40 of those credits involve studies in our general education program. So again, this is a program that's designed to develop a general broad knowledge base, broadly applicable skills. Again, things like critical thinking, oral and written communication, numerical literacy, skills that apply regardless of what career you might be pursuing, whether you're going to be a healthcare professional, a teacher, a business manager. Those skills are going to be necessary in any profession you choose. And also another function of that general education program is to develop strong skills associated with being an informed and engaged citizen. So that's another important component of that general education program. So again, bear in mind that typically, your first year and into your sophomore year, maybe that first semester, you're going to be doing courses that fulfill those general education requirements and are going to then, lead you into whatever your major might be. It's not uncommon for students to change their major. About 1/3 of undergraduate students change their major at some point, and about 10% change their major multiple times. Again, I think the key is good advising, and as I indicated in my comments earlier, we have a strong and we're building an even stronger advising system. So reach out to your advisor and make them aware of what you're thinking about. And I'd also encourage you, if you're undecided, Dr. Travis mentioned the Career Service Center. I'd connect with them, and they have a number of different instruments and can help you think through, and develop some direction related to a career and then a potential academic pathway to pursue a career. So I'd connect you to that resource as well, in addition to your academic advisors.
Yeah, I want to follow up on what Provost suggested. The career service is a place you should look. I think we still have active in there with, if you have your ID, there is a interest inventory you can take online. And as long as you have your university ID now, should be able to log on, get that information. And then what I would do is make an appointment to sit down with your university advisor to look at that and to talk about what areas of interest you have. In other words, it may come up in saying you have areas, you really are very much interested in helping people. Well, that means you may be interested in the healthcare profession, you may be interested in psychology, social work, one of the social sciences. It may come back and say you have a strong interest in business. And in that case, I think the university advisor can advise you in taking a marketing or management course, introduction course, that, as Provost mentioned, will count towards your gen ed, but also help get you some familiarity with a particular area of profession you might be interested in studying. You should also remember that you have the ability when you get here, you can still make changes to your schedule during the first few days of the semester. And so getting together with your university advisor, I would do that inventory and see what shows up in terms of areas of interest. Take that information, sit down with the university advisor, say, does this schedule make sense? Is it what we should be doing? And as the provost suggested, a number of students do change majors. So if you're undecided, in some cases, you're ahead of the game. But we do have a lot of students that change majors. They find new interests, new areas that they're proficient at. So we're here to help you make that happen. You're not going to fall behind. It's not that you have to be in a prescriptive set of courses from day one. And if you change, you have to add another year. That's not the case. But we're here to help you. But use that university advisor, bounce ideas off, have that discussion, but take a look at the career services page to see what you can do as far as the inventory that you can take online. It'll give you the information. Between now and the end of August, you can start thinking about, well, what majors might be appropriate for me in terms of things you may want to explore while you're here. Yeah. The good thing is, and I think the provost would agree, we have the ability in many instances for students, we have a lot of students who double major, and a lot of students actually triple major, because we have the ability to combine different majors and different minors because of different interests that they have. So you can have a wealth of opportunities.
Yeah, and on that note, you know, as a comprehensive university, we offer over 50 undergraduate majors and an additional 30 academic programs, minors and certificate programs. So again, in terms of majors, everything from accounting to wildlife and fisheries. We've got several really cool new programs going online this fall. Our communications department is offering a number of new programs in digital communication and social media. Again, there's a nice story about those new programs on the front page of our website. If that's of interest to you, your student, check that out. Our chemistry department is going to be offering a new program in conjunction with the University of Maryland Eastern Shore's School of Pharmacy, giving students the ability to get a major in chemistry here at FSU and then go on and get a doctorate in pharmacy at UMES in a shorter time period than it normally takes to do those two programs. And in our engineering department, we have a new life cycle facilities management program, which takes really a construction management program, but then extends thinking beyond just the construction of a facility to managing the facility over the course of its lifetime, particularly in a way that's sensitive to sustainability. And, if you think, for example, about the very tragic condo collapse in Miami, right, and the kinds of skills that people are going to need, again, to upgrade facilities like that and to address, to build in a safe manner in the first place, but then again, to address infrastructure that might be failing. A program like that leads into lots of careers connected to those kinds of things. So again, a really broad array of opportunities for you to look at.
Excellent. Just to let everyone know, this is being recorded and a link will be sent out tomorrow so you can access the full recording. All right, next question. What % of campus has been vaccinated and uploaded information?
We're well over 50%, I think near 68% of faculty and staff have uploaded information in terms of the vaccination. We were very pleased with the response we got in the spring semester to the vaccination. The students, we're seeing an uptick now as we're getting closer to the August 1st deadline to get information in. So a number of students have uploaded it. I think we're well over a third of the student population now has uploaded information. Again, with all the medical records and things that they needed. So we're moving along, we're on track. We will be reaching out to all employees as well as students that have not uploaded, because in some cases people may have thought they've uploaded and it hasn't been uploaded, or so there's a problem with the uploading process or whatever, because we are using two separate ones. The one for the Brady Health Center is more robust, and that allows for all the vaccinations to be uploaded for the students. But we'll be reaching out to anybody who we still need more information from at the beginning of August.
All right, so back to move-in. With move-in, is there a time limit as to when parents need to be finished? Specifically, is it 1 hour?
No, we're going to return to normal. So the parents can come up at 8 o'clock. They can run over to the cafeteria, get a Starbucks, have a cup of coffee, go down and explore Frostburg, the city, help their children move in, chill out a little bit, give their hugs and waves and checkbooks, and then they can head out. So there's not going to be a limit. It's going to be just like college. It's supposed to be.
Back to the vaccine question. If a booster ends up being required, will students be required to get a booster?
We will likely do that. We just don't know yet. That's one of those hypotheticals. We're watching right now what is going on in the medical profession and what the science is telling us at this point. Right now, there is no booster. In fact, we're following the literature very carefully. And I know that most recently, there's some headlines about, I think it was Somebody saying that Johnson & Johnson may need a booster, but it was based on a laboratory study that's not even been published yet. It has not been peer reviewed. So we're relying quite a bit on experts at the University of Maryland Medical School, as well as our local health providers. We have been giving, and I think next week, we'll be giving the vaccines here again on campus. Yeah. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get the vaccines. If you don't live in this area, we certainly encourage you to get the vaccine. If you've not gotten the vaccine yet, get the vaccine at a local healthcare provider that can give you the vaccine moving forward.
Family weekend, Parents Weekend. Do you have any information or more details you can share about that and what can be expected?
We will probably have that information up on the website probably in the next week or so, but there will be opportunities for families to check out some of the faculty, stop by, visit with them, some other entertainment, but basically what we're trying to do is, you know, this first 6 to 8, 9 weeks of school, we know that the freshmen in particular are going to be a little sad and probably a little lonely. So we want to bring them together, give them space to be able to hang out with their moms or dads or their family members, etc., but also be able to see some of the best of Frostburg.
We know we'll have athletic events going on that weekend too. There may be, I don't know yet, I have not seen a cultural event series to see if there'll be other events possible for the individuals. I'm certain we will have an event for parents to get together again in person rather than as we're doing here virtually, to meet and answer questions and talk about how things are going for the semester as it's moving forward.
And then there also will be an opportunity to chat with the president, the provost, and a couple of the other senior administrators for about an hour. We don't want to take that much time up. Yes.
What is a GPA that Frostburg expects students to achieve to stay in good standing?
Yeah, so on a 4-point GPA scale, 2.0, C average is required to maintain good academic standing. So, you know, I mentioned earlier you have to have 120 credits successfully earned to get the bachelor's degree. You have to have a 2.0 cumulative GPA and a 2.0 GPA in the particular academic major itself. So 2.0. Yeah.
And again, for those that are not familiar with some of these terms, because I was the first generation to go to college, the 120 credits normally are 3-credit classes, so it translates to basically 40 courses across your career here. If you go 4 years, do the math, it's 10 courses, each semester 5 classes. Yeah. Is what we try to work toward. That's right.
Follow-up question about move-in weekend with the cafeteria. Will all dining options be available to students?
As far as it's my understanding that all the options will be available. Okay. Starbucks, Moe's, and then the main cafeteria with all of their great food and great food and conversation.
And as far as the structure for paying for meals on move-in day and all that sort of stuff, would that count towards the students' meals for that week if they swipe their card?
Yes.
Okay. Follow-up question about homecoming. When is the date specifically and any additional information available?
You should be able to go to our webpage. If you just type in, if you go to our website and type in homecoming, I think it'll take you through our alumni office to get to that information. I believe the dates are October 16th and 17th. It's that weekend. The weekend of the 16th of October will be homecoming. And there'll be a number of events going on campus. It's always a fun time.
Next question. Daughter received an outside scholarship. They require a copy of her Frostburg ID. Daughter is a freshman. How can they receive a copy of the ID? She turned in her picture but told she wouldn't get the ID until move-in day.
Have them reach out to you through the admissions office so we can figure out the way of getting it done.
So if you reach out to fsuadmissions@frostburg.edu, submit that question, and we can follow up with you and look into that.
And make sure you give a contact phone number or whatever too. We should be able to make that work.
The admissions phone number is 301-687-4201. And I will put both of those contact methods in the chat as well, so you'll have it there. Next question, can a parent stay overnight in the student dorm? If so, what is the parking situation?
I would have the parents stop by campus police to get a temporary parking pass, but we're not stopping parents from staying over with their child.
Okay.
We're not encouraging it, but we're not stopping them from staying over with their child.
Okay. Currently, a student is signed up for a specific 1 hour time slot for move-in. Has that changed based on what you just said? And can they come whenever they want?
Ask them to go to the website for Res Life, and Res Life information will be out there for them to be able to determine their move-in times. Because we are going back to normal, I am not aware that we are signing folks up for 1 hour time slots.
And then another question, and I can answer this, so it is about how can they still register for courses if they haven't yet registered. And on August 2nd, we have our Bobcat welcome session. We still have room available, and we do have another one on August 27th as well. And if you attend the August 27th session, you would actually move in and register for classes in the same day. And we're coordinating and working with Residence Life to make sure that is a smooth transition. If you have a transfer student who's coming, we do have 2 other welcome sessions for transfer students as well. That is on August 3rd, and then that's also on August 26th. So reach out to us at FSU Admissions if you have any questions. Again, I will put that contact information in the chat.
Excuse me, Natalie, again, I would encourage, I think the provost would as well, if you can at all possibly come to the August 2nd session, that's the better time to come. You get your schedule, you'll get all the information you need, and you'll be in a better situation in terms of moving in, not having to also navigate moving in and also getting a schedule and talking advising. I think that August 2nd date, I would certainly, if my son or daughter were attending, I only have a 15-year-old, so he's not ready yet, but attending, I would be wanting them to get the registration done during the summer so that they know what courses they're taking, what times they're going to class, and having it all fit in. So I would recommend, if it's all possible, come to the August 2nd date. The other side of it is it's helpful, I think, for parents because you have the ability to spend time during that day learning and answering, getting questions, spending some time, again, listening to us, answering your questions, but also visiting campus and getting a sense of what things will look like prior to that August 26th or 27th arrival.
All right, it appears we have our last question, and it's about Parent Weekend again, and they were asking about a specific date. And the date was October 2nd. Was that correct?
Yes.
First, second, third, yeah.
Yes.
Second, third, yes.
Yes, that is correct.
So again, I think there's athletic events going on. So I think things will probably start, Friday night? Is that when you're planning for, is that right?
Yeah, the first, second, third.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. We don't have any other questions at this time. Any last comments?
Thank you, everybody. And, we're looking forward to having you join us. We're part of the Bobcat family. For those who are coming back, to, I hope it'll be a more pleasant experience than it was last year. And for the new students coming in and their families, welcome and glad to have you joining us.
All right, Mia, you want to wrap things up?
Yep, no problem. Everyone, as you can see, I'm in the lovely FSU rock climbing wall. You should definitely check it out when you get to campus. It's going to be located inside of Courts Gym, and it's just one of the many places on campus to visit. Make sure you're visiting the planetarium in our CCIT building. Don't forget to ask about our giant telescope on the roof either, especially if you're interested in seeing the FSU stars. I encourage you all to explore when you come to campus. So find your study nooks, find your walking shortcuts, your favorite places to take selfies. Definitely going to be the Bobcat outside of Compton Science Center. And definitely the mountains provide a great backdrop for any selfies or landscape photos, especially during sunset. Many of you have completed housing application and are receiving your room assignments. If you haven't completed placement testing, make sure you get that done. That's going to be the only way that you are able to register for an orientation session. So remember that majority of students will move in on the 28th, unless you're a student athlete or you select that last orientation date. Athletes, connect with your coach, ask them about the move-in date and the times. If you are selecting that last orientation date, then Res Life is going to follow up with you with more move-in information. If you do have any more questions from this event, please make sure that you're reaching out to the Office of Admissions at fsuadmissions@frostburg.edu or call us at 301-687-4201. Regardless, we are so excited to be welcoming all families, guardians, and students to campus, and we can't wait to see you for fall semester. I'm gonna get out of here and maybe do some rock climbing, but I hope that everybody is embarking on adventure, and be sure to be prepared for the adventure that you will get at Frostburg State University. My name is Nia Avery, and signing off.